into the tragic death of one of its students, Mr. Godwin Akpakan, a 300-level student of computer science who was reportedly killed in April outside the university premises. A statement by the institution's head of information, publications and public relations, Dr. Sam Penu, he described the incident as deeply saddening and stressed the need for accountability. The university said only a full-scale investigation will bring clarity and justice to the matter. The school management, however, appealed for calm, especially among students, urging them to allow the relevant authorities carry out their duties. Recall that the family of the 24-year-old said the police told them that police officers were conveying him and some others to a police station when a stray bullet from a soldier hit him. The family is accusing the police of a cover-up and made plans for an autopsy. Now, we reported this particular story about 2 weeks earlier, and in that report, it stated that the family of Godwin Francis were demanding, after the death in police custody, demanding for investigation. The River State Police Command, their public relations officer, Grace Ngekoko, said Godwin was arrested on the 16th of April and he was fatally struck by a stray bullet during an altercation when soldiers opened fire on a vehicle conveying arrested persons to the station. Ngekoko said he was later confirmed dead at a hospital. 6 weeks after his death, Godwin's brother, Savior, expressed concern over inconsistencies in the police's account and the lack of any official statement following all the meetings the family had with the police.
They have not given us clear statements of what happened to my brother. We have identified the body, but now from the body I saw at the mortuary, I think the gunshot was from the front, not behind, because there's 2 gunshots on his stomach. But according to the statement the police gave us, they said that they arrested my brother that night with some hard drugs, which I don't believe. And on their way back to the station at SAS Road, that was when they had an encounter with these army officers, and those army personnel now opened fire on their vehicle. Unluckily, the bullet now pierced through the vehicle and hit my brother.
Now, student coordinator of the Take It Back movement, River State chapter, Ebitomi Suobo, who described Godwin as a committed member of the Take It Back movement, warned that continued silence of the police on the matter may spark student protests.
Godwin Akpan was a very active and dues-paying member, protesting against bad governance and injustice. As the student union body, if we go back to the police again and the police can't give us a concrete explanation of the death of Godwin, we are going to take protest actions in relationship to this to demand for a proper investigation into this matter.
And the family's lawyer, Melo Claude Ake, said the police informed him that the soldier who shot the bullet had been arrested and their statements taken. Ake, however, criticized the police for failing to officially update the family and the general public on the progress of their findings. He urged the police to show accountability in their dealings.
At this stage, what they are telling us is that they have established contact with the army. The army has also arrested the suspects, and the suspects are in the army's custody. And the police has also been able to get the statement from these suspects. We are at the level where there's going to be a coroner's inquest, and an autopsy is going to be a part of that inquest. But it's important that this issue is on the front burner. It continues to be discussed and talked about, because this is something that happens to a lot of Nigerians. Things like this have to stop.
All right. Now, the update to that is the police said, the River State Police Command said it is working with the military to investigate the death. The spokesperson told correspondent Emeka Otuka that Akpan did not die in police custody as speculated. Iringe Koko said the student died in the hospital after being hit by a stray bullet allegedly fired by suspected military personnel. Now, the plan today was to get a family member, the lawyer, and a student rep. But I have just a Bitimi Suobo in the studio with me, who's the student coordinator, River State, of the Take It Back movement, and the member of Transport Committee, SUG Uniport. You're welcome, Mr. Ebitimi. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you, Mr. Oracle.
Did you know Godwin personally?
Yes, he was a friend of mine. I knew him and his elder brother since my year 1.
Okay.
And these are active speakers when the students gather, and all they clamor about is a good governance for Nigeria and a better life for the Nigerian students, basically.
Okay. Now, the statement from the school, at least what we started this with, said the school is asking for a thorough investigation into the tragic death of one of his children, that's Godwin. How did the school initially react to this when it first heard of it?
This incident happened on the 16th of April.
April, yeah.
Yes. And his brother called me the next day, that's the 17th of April, that he has been calling Godwin and he has not been able to reach Godwin all through the night. So later that day, he called me again in the evening and told me that the police picked up his call and told him to come to State CID. Then when he got to State CID, he met with in IPO Festus.
Okay.
And IPO Festus told him to go to the University Teaching Hospital to identify his brother's corpse. So he said he couldn't bear this view alone, so he called me to go and view it with him. And on getting there, I observed bruises all over his body. His body was deposited almost completely naked. He was putting on only boxes. And he had 2 bullet injuries on his stomach and 1 bullet injury at his back. So last week, Wednesday, being the 3rd of June, an autopsy was coordinated by Professor Musa, who is the head of department over there. And I was there to observe the process, myself and his brother and the faculty president, because I need to make a correction. He's from the Faculty of Education.
Not computer science?
No.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yes. So we were there and the autopsy was coordinated, and the autopsy proves that he had 1 shot that wasn't fatal. That one just got stuck on his skin. Okay. Then the second shot went through, tore his small intestine, destroyed the spinal cord, and came out through the back. That was what I was there.
So, how many shots total?
That's 2 shots.
2 shots. When the family reached out to the police, what did the police tell the family? Because we know what the police has told the public.
Okay.
What did the police tell the family initially?
It's very sad that right now I can't call Godwin Akpakpan, Savior Akpakpan, which is the brother who is my friend, to speak with us right now because he's scared. So he traveled out of town to stay with his family. So, but I will go on to say, because I have been in a meeting with the DCP, River State, and I heard what IPO Festus said. I was there at a meeting with him, and he made it very clear that these officers told them that this boy, they did a stop and search along the East-West Road.
Okay.
And they arrested everybody in the minibus because they found hard drugs on them.
Okay.
And on their way conveying them to the Dragon Base police station at SAS Road, they had an encounter with army officers, 2 army officers, and the army officers opened fire on them, and Godwin Akpakpan was unfortunately hit by a straight bullet from behind.
How many stray bullets?
We asked them to show us the vehicle, and it was just 1 bullet hole in the vehicle.
And your friend was the only one who got hit by this stray bullet?
Yes.
According to their narrative. Were you able, or maybe the family, able to speak with other people in that vehicle?
Okay. I was called, I think, let me say 2 weeks back.
Okay.
On a Wednesday, by a major in the Nigerian army who said he was coming to Port Harcourt to do an on-ground investigation because he has arrested 2 members of his battalion.
Okay.
So he came and they interrogated police officers right before me. And during the interrogation, they invited two witnesses, being a lady and her boyfriend, who apparently got arrested by the police and was in the same vehicle with Godwin Akpakpan.
Okay.
Yes. So the lady literally agreed to the statement that the police gave, that she said she was in the vehicle. She did not really know when Godwin Akpakpan was hit by the bullet, but when they got to the police station, that someone who was handcuffed together with Godwin Akpakpan screamed that the guy next to me is dead. And that was when she looked behind and saw that Godwin Akpakpan was leaning to the side and he was dead. So I asked her, didn't he make a sound when you guys heard the gunshots from the soldiers? She said no, that he did not make any sound. I was surprised, someone would get hit from a bullet and wouldn't make a sound.
Okay, we need to take this commercial break. After the break, there'll be more questions. Stay with us. the 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Oracle Chinedu here. We're having conversations about the passing of a Uniport student and the allegation that there might be foul play from the police. Well, the University of Port Harcourt is calling for a thorough investigation into the death of one of its students, Mr. Godwin Pakpan, a 300-level student who was reportedly killed in April outside the university premises. My guest is still right here with me. He's Mr. Ibitimi Swobo. He's a student coordinator of the Take It Back movement, River State, and a member of the Transport Committee with the SUG. You're welcome once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Oracle.
All right, it's time for you to be a part of the conversation. My question is there a pattern of disregard for accountability in cases involving security forces and civilians in Nigeria? The numbers to call us 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 06416. Please turn off your radio as you call. Now, while the calls come in, Ebitimi, what kind of person was Godwin? And I would expect that you are honest with me, because the police claim that he was held on drug charges, that they found drugs in the vehicle. So
okay, yes, that was I was conscious to that allegation from the police. So as of the period when we were in the theater and Professor Musa was coordinating this autopsy on Godwin Pakpan, I asked him to check if there's going to be any evidence of drug use on Godwin Pakpan, and it was negative.
Okay.
There was no
drugs in the system.
Yes. And I know Godwin Pakpan, he does not use any drugs at all.
The autopsy report, is it available to the family and the police?
Okay. The police said it's going to take them 10 days to provide us that.
Who conducted the autopsy?
Professor Musa, the head of the Department of Human Anatomy, Autopsies Department of University of Port Harcourt.
I like how specific you are. Was the autopsy enforced by family or the police?
It was enforced by the family. The family basically paid for that. Okay.
So that means the report should go to family.
Yes, exactly.
Now, did they make a copy available to the police?
I basically asked Mr. Musa to give me a copy of the report, but he told me that the family need to apply to the police to get the report.
Okay. Because I need to be sure that it is available to the police. That's why I'm asking these questions. And you said
the police had a representative there.
Okay. So they had the rep there. So they are aware of, the findings from the report.
It was IPO Festus. He was the representative there.
And that report, like you said, 2 gunshots.
Yes.
1 from close range.
Yes.
That was fatal.
Yes.
The first was not fatal.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the police had claimed that it was a stray bullet from a soldier.
I will allow them to do their investigation. If they say it's a soldier who did it, I think they should just provide the soldier to Nigerian students and stop making us look like fools, basically.
Okay. Now, the girl who said that, before the break we were talking, and you said a girl was stating that,
I think I'm not meant to disclose much of those informations. I just try to give you a background image of what I have witnessed.
Okay. So, what would look like justice? Because you said that the student body is looking to protest.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm sure that there are some moves that the family would also want to make on their own, which, might be different.
Yes.
So this question will have different answers depending on who you're asking. What justice will look like to the family might be a bit different from what justice would look like.
I will say.
Yes, to the student body.
I have spoken with the family quite often, and they have made it very clear that what they actually need is the death penalty. This boy, Godwin Pakpan, was an orphan. He has just 3 brothers in the world. and they took him away from his family. The family made it very clear that they don't want any money, that what they want is for those police officers to be derobed. If it's the army officers should be derobed and face, me personally, I advise for them to face the civilian court.
Yeah, the court would have to determine what the judgment is. I'll take calls now, but another thing that comes to mind a bit to me, you were both members of the Take It Back movement.
Yes.
Are you sure you were not being targeted? Of course, we know that with the Take It Back, there are protests, there are demonstrations and agitations here and there.
On the 7th of April, a protest was organized by the Take It Back movement against bad governance and some of the issues that we face. Me personally, I'm an occupant. I've been an occupant of the student hostel, and I know the conditions of those places. But I really want to commend my school authorities because they have tried their own best. But I think the federal government is not giving what is really necessary, because Godwin Akpakpan would have not been outside the campus if he had hostel accommodation. In the room that I stayed for the past 3 years, we were 9. We were always 9 in a room where like 2 people should be staying, but we were 9 in the room.
So you guys protested?
Yes, basically.
Was Godwin a part of that protest?
Yes, he was.
Do you think there might have been a link?
I don't want to accuse anybody.
Yeah, of course. That's why I say, do you think?
We live in a democracy, so I don't think that protesting is a crime enough to point out someone for murder.
Okay, well spoken. 08179230002. We've gotten as many sides as we can. Ibitimi is here from the student body. The family members have also spoken. We're supposed to have the brother here, but he could not make it. The police has said that it was a soldier that shot. That's the official statement of the police. And Ibitimi confirms also that that's what they told the family. So as many sides as are connected to this, we have heard from. We haven't heard from a soldier yet. Hopefully that happens. But I'm asking you, is there a pattern of disregard for accountability in cases involving security forces and civilians in Nigeria? And what's your take on this particular subject? 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06416. We're live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nigeria Info PH. You can watch, listen, and engage and drop your comments on those platforms. If and when you call, please turn off your radio. It's very important. My first call is from JJ, who calls from Rumi Igbo. Hello, JJ.
Yeah, Sam, good
evening. Good evening.
Let me greet your guest in the studio. Sam.
Yep.
I don't know if the police spokesperson has also said anything about this matter.
Yes.
And that the police arrested somebody in a bus. Was there a fight between the police and the army that army would take a shot and now kill the guy? They didn't injure any policeman or anything. Everybody was safe. Even the girl that is here to testify said she didn't even know. And all those put together. I think there is something is telling me that somebody is not telling us the truth. Because if the army has been the one that took that shot, how come the police didn't arrest the army that took the shot, maybe with the aid of the other army guys and all those put together? I think it's not balancing up here. So for me, I think proper investigation should be carried out. The army has started their own by asking questions, and at the end of the day, how
Mr. Oracle.
Let's see how we can go about that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. David calls from Oyibo. Hello, David. Oh my, I've lost that call. Eric from Gokana.
Oracle, good afternoon.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. This is Eric calling from Gokana. Oracle, I don't know why, when issues of this kind is associated with Nigerian police, you'll be hearing cases up and down, trying to defend one or two cases. If you compare this with the case of Tima Ekunadu, where they came up and just cooked 30 things and said it was a blood sugar, the whole state was thrown into jeopardy about the death of Tima Ekunadu. At what point did the soldier open fire on their car? It means that soldiers are now opening fire on cars without recognition or without the occupants of such a car. Now, how come that all the occupants of that car, nobody was injured? What kind of a statement is this for the Nigerian police? And now, the autopsy is saying it was a gunshot twice. And the suspect was in their own custody. So how can they now marry all this with what they are saying? It is a pity that when you encounter the police officer in Nigeria, they must look for a way to cook up a person that is a victim to be seen as a criminal. What it is that is found on this young boy? What are those evidences? They just came up and cooked up a story and said it was a drug this or that. When they talked about the car, they found only a shot on the body of the car. But since there was an open fire, meaning the gunshot was numerous, why do they end up cooking story for us? I think it is a time that I don't know the number of heads that are in the Nigerian police, including their heads. I don't know the chicken that have laid this egg. And they cannot remove this chicken and they cannot remove the egg. I think it is the job of the total Nigerians to look for a way to screen those that have been, put into this form. So that Nigerians will have peace, please.
Thank you, Eric.
This matter should be investigated.
Thank you very much.
People that are involved should be to face the warriors that are necessary.
All right. We have to move on now. Thank you very much, Eric, for calling. Emeka from Elele, good evening.
My dear brother, good evening.
Good evening.
I want to ask your guest in that studio.
Okay.
Those police people and that boy in question, what kind of motor did they enter? Is it a bus? Or is it a truck? Or is it train? That the army people will shoot. It will only touch one person. And no neighborhood, nobody shouted. It didn't affect any police officer. It didn't affect even the kid that they arrested also with her boyfriend. My dear brother, I'm seeing foul play in this day. I am calling on the IG of police to immediately remove the commissioner of police in River State and the police spokeswoman, a woman. They are not telling of the truth. If they cannot investigate this kind of a normal, this investigation is very clear for me to investigate as ordinary civilians. How can they tell me that they will shoot persons, that the only one person will die, there is no bullet this in other people? What kind of Nigeria we are? Police are not competent. They are shooting, army is shooting a civilian. They should go to Bruno and shoot. They should stop killing civilians. Civilians. So what kind of a cook lie is that one? The police spokesman is telling us lie. He's a liar. How can you tell us that?
Okay.
That we will shoot one person. Come put our hand and watch them. Thank you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much, Emeka. I completely understand that. Yes, it is frustrating. I've lost my train of thought. I was going to say something. Chima from Rumokuta. Hello, Chima.
Hello, Mr. Oracle.
Good evening.
Mr. Oracle, what do I say about this thing? I would say such a wasted life. I want to ask a question. Did the army, did they use silencer? Because if there were to be a gunshot in that magnitude, 2 bullets, because as long as it's not 2 bullets, it's no longer a 10 bullets again. Now, the other thing again, just as the former caller called, what kind of vehicle were the police riding in? Is it a normal police truck that is being crested the police? Or whether they are using this motor they used to use that doesn't have anything, maybe army might have seen them and say maybe they are armed robbers. And when the army had a shot against them, didn't they reciprocate, maybe trying to shoot back the army? But then like a war, Now the issue there now is that those people that were inside the case, see why I don't like some people. You now maybe you have been threatened or whatever case may be. You are trying to say you can cover up the truth. Even the one that was handcuffed with him. How would you say from all time you were with him till you got to your destination? That's when you were able to know that the man has died. The bleeding alone said would have even touched all your body. You will be asking what kind of sweat is this? And there is no how somebody going through some agony will not begin to make some kind of noise. Even if it's breathing very fast. Maybe shouting, I don't die, you. I don't die, you give me water. Oh. At least not for anything. Yeah, in the letter, we have seen some of them or cutting clothes on them that have been shot in one way, the way they do. So to me, I don't want to even attach it to say it is the inside protest or whatever things or the speculation they have been having. No, there's no speculation in this issue. The thing is that there is an accidental discharge in that vehicle among the policemen. That is the reason why one shot is a close range. And the other one might have hit somewhere else, turn again, and try to hit him. Maybe not pass him at the superficial, whatever. That's the other one is not how this thing. So to me, those police people, all of them in that vehicle should be court-martial first. It should be court-martial. Even the girl that came to make that kind of statement, she too should be put into a questioning room. Even that other boy, because they knew what happened, and they are trying to protect the police thinking that they are smart. I don't know why people are behaving like this. So me, I will tell the family too, she's sorry. It's not easy even me to I should be sorry. Because the person that died is also a youth.
All right.
I don't like it.
Thank you, Chairman. Susie calls from Malakaya. Hello, Susie.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
With the way the process is going, I have always advocated for a traditional addendum to follow up our issues the way it is now, even with the state-centric law, Nigerian Police Force. I also want to acknowledge the fact that the Nigerian Police Force and the armed forces are doing their job. But to the extent it gets to this level, if I were to be in the family of that young man, I will carry the cuff and follow tradition and then forget about it. That is what it is. And I still advocate that even our laws, whether it is in the State of Assembly and the National Assembly, from what the Attorney General have done from the West, people should also acknowledge that our tradition is part of whatever it is to this extent, because nobody will want to tell you the truth.
Okay.
But where tradition is followed to this extent, to decide your fate, whether you are telling the truth or not. I am heartbroken to this extent that a young man will be killed as stories are being told. I am Susie from the Rema community, and I believe in the tradition of our people.
All right.
I can go how far to make sure that anybody will see my brother. Don't worry yourself. I will follow the tradition. Thank you very much. From Rema community.
Thank you very much, Susie. Minaso, I'll be speaking to you shortly. Good afternoon, Sam Chinedu. What I have to say is the brothers of Godwin should involve the Inspector General of Police so that a proper investigation will unravel the exact rancor and truth of the matter must prevail. May so rest in peace. Ipalibo Taylor Harry. Good evening. Ask your guest what did the police say was the reason of the encounter they had with the soldier, or the nature Handsome is asking. Melody from Uniport says, police, so you have mind to tell a fellow parent this kind of incoherent story. The student union community should ensure that this matter is followed to the end. The culprit would not know peace. Has the killer been identified or arrested? What of other people arrested with him? Have they given statements of any military involvement or what truly happened? Minaso calls from Isaka town. That's my final call. Hello?
Yeah, thank you very much, Oracle.
Good evening.
It's Minaso from Isaka town. Good evening.
All right.
Yeah, sadly, I would say I wish the dead could speak.
Yeah.
Because I can't listen to your guest, from the statement so far. I think there is no. I sense there is a hand, a monkey hand in the pot, as they say. Up till now, we have not heard official statement from the PPRO, Nigerian Police. And what about the army? I don't know why take a life you cannot create. I don't know. The police brutality. I don't know. It's very unfortunate. I want to say sorry to the family and the Uniport community. Please, I'm supposed to say sorry.
All right.
I considerate with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minaso. For the record, and I stated earlier, the police first said that it was a stray bullet from a soldier. And the second statement, which was official, is that the police command is working with the military to investigate the death of Godwin. The spokesperson told correspondent Emeka Otuka that Akpakpan did not die in police custody as speculated. Now, Ibitimi, we are obviously getting to the end of this conversation. We're down to minutes. You said earlier that there was no blood in the vehicle.
Yes, there was no blood in the vehicle.
The inconsistencies. Now, this happened on the 16th of April.
Yes.
And today makes it 54 days.
Yes.
Very close to 3 months. This investigation by the police, we've not heard anything. The statements, and the police is still quiet. Have there been further engagement? Have the family tried to reach out, and has the police said anything, or are they quiet?
The family reaches out to the police every day. Every day. Me, myself, too, I reach out to the police every day.
And how do they respond with silence? Do they say we are on top of it? What do they say?
They act like we are disturbing them. That's basically how they act.
We're out of time, Ibitimi. What's the next line of action?
I'm calling out on the entire student community of Port Harcourt, Rivers State as a whole, and even Nigeria as a whole. Every Nigerian student out there and everybody who have experienced any form of police brutality, you know what it means. You know what Godwill Akpakpan went through before he lost his life. Come out and speak for him. If you cannot scream, shout. If you can't shout, talk. If you can't talk, whisper. At least, nobody can die silently.
Okay. Thank you, Ebitimi. I cannot pretend to understand what you're going through, but I'm grateful that for your friend, that you're standing for him, and since he's somebody you knew personally, you are here to speak where others cannot. I would try to engage with you further to see what the update is on this particular case. Thank you very much for making the time.
Thank you, Mr. Oracle. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. All right. The news update comes up at 5. After that, we have conversations that border on security. Stay with us.